Money Rider Jump Boys are back. As we said on Twitter the other day, we're going to have a stab at the flats.
Give it a go.
We'll give it a go, see how well we do. This is our first one of the season. We'll be joined again by Jacob from the racingtips.net, our resident tipster. We'll also be joined by our friend Jamie, MPR Syndicate owner. He'll join us again. And then just to spice things up, a little bit of interest, a little bit different this year, we'll also be joined by a friend of ours, Mark. Mark will give us his selections as well. He loves his flats, doesn't he?
Thinks he knows his stuff, so we'll test him.
And we'll have something slightly different with the graphics and stuff for you. So let's kick off then, boys, with the Ascot one then. Just around the corner, Royal Ascot. Queen Anne Stakes we'll start with. Let's have a quick look at some of the current betting at the moment. As you can see, there's Le Bravido there, 4-1, Mustache 5-1, Lawrence 8-1, and Barney Roy back there has come back this season, or just prior to the sort of season. There's a few there, and obviously some higher prices as well. We'll start off. I'll go first. I'm going to go for Lawrence, 8-1, reasonable price at the moment, as you say. All the prices taken from Paddy Power. These things will change. We all know they slide in and out, and you know, some get taken out and whatever. So for me, I thought she ran well against Mustache at Newbury. The connections were very happy with the run. It wasn't an overexertion. I think it was just a nice warm up, basically.
Stretch of the legs.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So 7 from 12. You can't really argue with that. She hasn't really done a lot wrong.
Fantastic. Last year,
so yeah, for me, I'm going to go with Lawrence. Go on then, Sean. Do you want to be next?
Yeah, I'm going for the winner of that race. Actually, Mustache, the Lockinge. That was a good field that day, though. It was like was it Beat the Bank without parole, obviously Lawrence. There was a dance a lot, a couple of the consistent sort of types in there. As you say, Lawrence, it was a stretch of the legs, but Mustache won well.
Yeah.
Effectively, when got a bit of room, made the most of it. I think ground and Triple B pretty much the same again, especially with the weather looking pretty decent for Ascot. The trip won't be an issue. So again, I think it's a 5, 6s to 1s for Mustache at the moment. I think it's a decent price.
Yeah, not too bad at all. So Neil,
I've gone Barney Roy. Seems to be getting quirkier and quirkier with his age. It's not a horse for me that actually enjoys his racing, but bags and bags of ability, loads and loads of speed over the last sort of 2-3 furlongs. I just think if he fancies it on the day, that is the thing. Obviously had a couple of occasions where he's had issues with the stalls. Almost runs like a green thing. That just, as I say, just doesn't fancy a race. But as I said, it does fancy it on the day. Loads of ability, so I'll stick with it. 8-1 as well. Is
decent price for that sort of horse. I'd say. Very, very decent.
For me, for someone that's obviously, well, not new now, but you know what I mean, new compared to some people, especially to you lads that follow the sport, he's kind of new but old. Yeah. Because obviously he went away, didn't quite work out.
Exactly.
Stud-wise, wasn't it? Yeah.
And, put him in the stud again. Didn't fancy that either. So
it's just a lazy side.
You have to.
You don't want to do nothing.
He's like the horse version of me. As I say, didn't fancy that either. So come back and have a go at racing.
But he's done all right.
Yeah, won well enough last time out, so I'll stick with it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's give you the choices of the lads then. Jamie, as we all know, he likes an each way. Jamie's going for Lawrence, same as me, again each way. We've got a few notes here. Again, what I said, nice reappearance at Newbury. Nice prep run for Ascot. Likes the ground, good to firm, should get that. And just thinks that the ground will suit. And looking at the form, can't really argue with it. Very much the same as what I said.
She is a good thing.
Yeah.
Again, another one, she fancies it on the day.
Mark, the new boy.
Same as Mark.
Again, Mark, pretty much thinking along the same lines as me and Jamie, gone for Lawrence. Just likes the chances. Again, same. Reiterate the same thing. Good reappearance at York. The ground should be in her favour. Again, same exactly what I said. 7 wins from 12 starts. Can't really argue with that. Yeah, decent form. Jacob, our tipster, has gone for Barney Roy. Agreeing with you, Neil.
Neil's mate
again. As he says there, back to look somewhat back to his best there. He was implying that the second to Zaki form's been boosted because that won again. And he believes he should win it quite easily if he turns up top form, as you say, if he turns up. So that was nice and swift then, boys. That covers the first of our choices. The next one we're going to move on to is the Kingsland Stakes.
Good races.
Again, let's have a quick look at some of the current betting at the moment. You've got Battash up there, you've got Blue Point, Mabs Cross, who's won well recently, Imperius for the US trainer Joe Ossieno, Prokriev in there, or Prokriev, how you pronounce it. Got some obviously higher prices. You've got some higher prices in there as well. I'll lead off the what do you call it, the whitewash. I don't see you can really look past Battash.
Not really.
We all know he's a bit quirky and he's turned up in some races and he hasn't in others, but he fancied it the other day. Really,
when he turns up, he's speed demon, and he's just so quick. He can be so quick. As long as he fancies it, he's almost unbeatable at times. I see that being the case here.
So obviously he hinted out there. Let's just say confirm it.
It's fairly unanimous. So we had this problem last year, and it was actually on the way there. We had Battash against Lady Aurelia, and he was trying to pick the two out. Then ended up being Blue Point that bolted up at 10-1. Blue Point's done nothing wrong since that, by the way. He's won his last three, got all over at Maidan. So prep-wise, but what Battash did the other day was
filled you with confidence. Really in that respect. So
So I think that's quite obvious. All three of us there for Battash, basically. So again, moving on to the lads. Jamie, again, like I say, always tries to find that sort of value for money type one. A bit like Jacob as well. Invincible Army at 25-1 each way. That's a horse I've backed before in the past. Won a couple of times for me and not for a couple of times. So I can sort of see where he's coming from. Even though, like Jamie says, you know, that Battash was very impressive.
He likes a bit of value, doesn't he? That's the thing, and that's a good value bet.
You know, he thinks he could pose him a good threat.
I like Invincible Army in fairness to him. I say he won over his last two, but that was both at 6. And again, that this drop in furlong makes it an absolute sprint to the line. I'm just wondering if a couple of others have got sort of more of the legs, but
Jamie seems to think that he's done. You know, he said he's done well in enough in the sprint, so you can sort of see where he's coming from.
Definitely,
he was saying about he did win at Ascot, but that was on soft. So he said, like, you know, obviously that, you know, might be the case this time round.
We won't be getting soft this time round.
But as he says there, as an each way, he's a player for him.
Definitely.
So again, you can't sort of say he's completely off the mark with that one. It's one of them, you know. I mean, like you say, we either think Battash is going to blitz it, or there could be a shock. Mark stuck with us, Battash. He said what's not to like about him really, other than the fact that, like I said, we do know he has been a little bit sort of not hit and miss in terms of ability, but just hit and bit, as you say, as in terms of sort of attitude on the day, sort of thing.
Like a Barney Roy.
You know, he should get the faster ground, which he will relish. So he's gone with that. Battash as well. Jacob, he's gone for Blue Point, as you mentioned, hasn't really done a lot wrong. You know, suited, you know, by the fast pace that Battash will want anyway, so that will sort of play into his hands.
And like he's put,
I think he's 3 out of 4. So course form, and we rave about course form when we talk about the jumps, etc. So we can't abandon that now.
No,
so from Jacob's point of view, you know, if anyone can put it up to him, it is Blue Point. Which, like I say, he's sort of shown before, isn't he, that he can do it.
I think it'll be a battle tactic.
11-4 for Blue Point as it stands at the moment. And then he also just chucked in a cheeky another one there. I Can Fly each way at 20-1. He just said, you know, it's hard to sort of catch him on a good day, but if he has a good day, you know, he can do it. You know, 20-1. You know, it seems like a nice price to have a stab at an each way at.
100% on that.
You know, more of them sort of you're not necessarily picking him as a winner, but just saying, you know, like keep an eye out for him. He could be worth a punt for a bit of money in the places. So moving swiftly on then, St James Palace Stakes. Again, let's have a quick look at some of the runners we've got here. Got to be a good one, I reckon. This Phoenix of Spain, I was very impressed with. Back the other day over in Ireland. Too Darn Hot. A little bit disappointing lately, but you know, I know they do say class is permanent, don't they? Magna Grecia, Kings of Comedy, Skydew at 10-1, and then of course you've got some higher prices at the moment. Obviously, like I say, some will run, some won't run. So you can see there some of the higher prices. Mad Moon 20-1, Dubai Legacy if he goes in that race 33-1, and you know, so again lots of options there. For me, as I say, just touched upon there, Phoenix of Spain, I was really impressed with that run. I don't know whether he caught them a bit cold. Maybe, some die-hard sort of, Too Darn Hot fans, might say that, a bit lucky, you know what I mean? Just caught them on the back foot. But Jamie Spencer got the lead and didn't give it up. And they couldn't put it up to him.
I think a few of them got boxed in. This one, actually, I found one of the hardest to actually pick. And I don't know if I'm jumping shit, but I went for King of Comedy.
That's right, you can.
I went for King of Comedy purely because Too Darn Hot, I just don't think has been consistent enough to actually warrant winning this, but I could be completely wrong. Phoenix of Spain, I tend to think that might have been perhaps not a one-off, but has caught everyone on a good day. And Magna Grecia's sort of not done enough after the 2000 guineas to sort of, well, obviously it's only that run, but wasn't, was nowhere near what you needed to be. Scardu, I thought, might go on to do better things after some decent runs, but hasn't really produced anything. So I've done King of Comedy for John Gosden. Won its last two, goes there in decent enough form, and at 60s, I just think it's a bit more of a value bet.
Yeah, fair enough. So Sean, you were going to go with?
Yeah, Too Darn Hot. I still think, especially at 3-1. I mean, if you would have seen the form on it last year, you wouldn't have probably assumed it'd be more than evens for this race.
No, not given on to last year.
I understand. Last two races, second twice. They were very close races, as in time wise. Just over a week.
Oh yeah, it was a quick turnaround.
It was a quick turnaround. So, and for any horse, that's that's something to do. It's like 8-9 days, something like that difference. Anyway. So it was a quick turnaround. I don't think that's anything to worry about so much, as you touched on with Phoenix of Spain. Ran the race, like you say, probably caught them all on an off day. There was a couple maybe a little bit leggy.
Yeah.
And we had this before. I'm sure we had it with Guineas last year with Bilston Brook, where we said you always get that one sort of big winner of a race. And the Guineas are this, where will they actually go on to win anything else that year? Phoenix of Spain probably could. But for me, especially at 3-1, Too Darn Hot, it's difficult to lose the faith. I still think such a good horse, and that's a value bet.
Yeah, I can't imagine pretty confident in one.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah, that's the one you're going to go for.
Yeah, definitely. But like you say, when you touched on the likes of Magna Grecia, I think would be difficult to follow. Phoenix of Spain, I just don't know if it was a flash in the pan. There's just too many if buts or maybes. Whereas I think Too Darn Hot, if turns up, will be.
Should be the class act.
To be honest, and I think at 3-1, I think it's fantastic.
Fair enough.
Currently.
Did you just say should be Too Darn Hot?
Yeah, no, I went for it.
Pardon.
Not just my TV, that not pardon. All right.
Okay, so Jamie sort of
hate myself.
Disagreeing with you somewhat, Neil. He's gone for Scardu at 10-1. He says he's done quite well in his 4 runs. He thinks he'll hold his own.
I agree. This is I'm probably talking with my wallet, because again I've obviously backed it a few times when it's been the bridesmaid and not the bride. So I just think it's getting more competitive. So if you've not won yet, then you're pushing it when you go to the Royal meeting. That's all.
Yeah,
fair dues. Mark has gone with Magna Grecia.
So he disagrees with everything.
Basically, as he says, he's got the scope to keep improving, and he thinks, basically.
Again, the second run could have
he's
come
a bit disappointed with Too Darn Hot.
Too soon. So who knows? Who knows? You don't win the Guineas by chance, but maybe that second run was just a little bit. Yeah, it was just a little bit too quick. So.
Okay, so Jacob has gone same as usual, Too Darn Hot. Basically highlights what you said. You know what I mean? Turned up 9 days later. And should perform better and have a better preparation for this race. The 2-year-old form. Was the best around, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean. It's difficult to even imagine it is 3-1. You would never assume that.
And right now, like you said, double the price of what you can get on Phoenix of Spain. Like you say, you can understand why a lot of people will be jumping on that. Right now.
Like you say, that won't be that. So you can't imagine it being 3-1 near at a time.
No. Okay, right. Moving on again then. The next one we'll look at is the Prince of Wales Stakes. You've got, again, let's have a quick look at some of the runners. You've got Magical in there, Sea of Glass, Crystal Ocean, Walled Geist. That's a horse actually Jess likes, my sister. And then again, some other bigger prices in there at the moment. So for me, it was a bit of a tough choice because I quite like Crystal Ocean, but I like Sea Class more. Although Crystal Ocean has a good relationship with Ryan Moore, I'm not a big Ryan Moore fan.
Let's not get into that one at the moment.
But yeah, that's nothing per se personal against the man.
It's just currently.
For me, you know, I like other jockeys over him. But I am a bit of a fan of the Doyler. And you've got a 66% strike rate with Sea Class, 4 wins from 6. You know, just a shoulder behind Unable in the Arc.
Another couple of strides and he wins that.
He
was catching at the line to get out of that gap a little bit quicker. Absolutely.
So for me, I sort of, I came to a quick conclusion, even though I wasn't quite sure to start with. So Sean.
Same. To be honest with you, again, it's not overstretching the thought process, and it is a favourite, but I think for a decent reason. I mean, when you look at the only blemishes, second behind. Well, the recent blemish is the only second behind Unable. 2-time Arc winner, going to go for it again. And like we were saying, he was eating up the ground. When Doyle got that, when he got the space, he was catching quick.
I actually only watched it just last night as well. Funny enough, I watched the replay. The line came races,
just in time.
You're talking another couple of strides.
And I mean, for the field, it is. I mean, he likes some Crystal Oceans and things like that. It's a very good race. I don't think it'll be that competitive.
No,
that's probably a.
I think
silly thing to say, but I mean, when you look at it, what's in there that is the same or close sort of standard to an Arc winner in second?
I think, like I say, when you look at it, I think on paper it looks quite strong, but I think on the day I'm inclined to agree that it might not be. On the day. So you give us a couple here. On the old email message.
We'll have 3 of those.
So we'll have 3 of those, and then you go to a bit of a. Sort of an outsider of a stab on it.
It's a favourite of yours, though.
You've got Massar in there at 6-1. Again, going back over a year ago now, tipped up for the Derby and bolted up at 16s that day. I would have preferred Massar to have had a run before this. Last time out was the Derby. That's the last time he's run. And I think
one hell of a rate.
God blimey. But yeah, at 6s could be even higher than that on the day. I'll probably have an each way sniff, but Sea Class for me is the standout in that field.
Would you say it's the class?
Don't do it.
Okay, so let's give you the lads' choices. Jamie Brownlow's gone for Sea Class again. Like I say, very much reiterating what we've all said. You know, I mean, it's one of them horses. You know, I mean, you can't say too much about it really. It's all there.
Certainly nothing new.
Black and white for everybody to see, isn't it? You know, like he says there, probably go for the Arc again anyway with Sea Class. So and take on an Able again. Mark's gone the other way. Disagree with us again. Right, Mark, this is a non. So
sack him off.
Mark's sort of the other side of the coin basically. Mark's gone for Crystal Ocean. He said he thinks it's a tough one, but you can see why. 7 from 15 is nothing to be sniffed at. A couple of wins already. Proven over the distance.
It's hard to reel in. I just think he's going to have a fight for the lead.
Definitely.
In this field, there's going to be a few of them vying for it at higher prices than this that are going to just be, catch me if you can kind of thing. And I just think there's going to be 2 or 3 that are going to be too good. If Crystal Ocean gets to the front, then as I say, hard to reel in.
We got ourselves a race.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, we'll move on to Jacob's choice. Jacob has gone for Regal Reality, 14-1.
Another decent shout.
What he's basically saying in his notes to us that the rest of the field seems to be about the right price, but he thinks Regal Reality is a bit overpriced. Unexposed as a 4-year-old and over the 10. Over the distance,
it's like the enigma in the race.
And a train known well for improving horses. So you can again, he's always one that tries to look for a bit of value in it and tries to find something that.
But Matt Horn last time out.
Who's
been flying for Mark Johnston as well. This is a slight drop down in trip. So slightly. If you think 14s was big, it was 33s initially. So
okay.
Obviously, someone's seen what he's seen. So fair play.
Okay. Okay, so we'll move on to the Duke of Cambridge Stakes. Again, let's have a quick look at some of the runners. Radar, Voracious, Ananirum in there, Pretty Baby for William Haggis. So again, you got sort of quite close again at the top of the betting, and then some sort of maybe bigger prices that may come up with a shock. I'll kick off again. For me, Pretty Baby, William Haggis, again, Doyle connection. It's just one that I always like and always favour.
Solid form as well.
I was torn between a couple on recent races. That some have improved a little bit and heightened my interest prior, and then others haven't. I backed Awesome Tank, one in May, but then was poor again the other day. On the other hand, Ananirum, I was quite impressed with the other day, switched around. So, but if you look at the form of Pretty Baby, actual career form, and second and third all the way. I do think it is winnable for kind of quite a few of them.
Yeah, so it's a reasonably open race, this one.
But yeah, for sort of consistency, I've gone for Pretty Baby, and again for a bit of sort of like fan loyalty, I suppose. Neil, you're going to go for
Ananirum. Funny enough, based on what you just mentioned, say second behind Awesome Tank in May at Goodwood, but reversed that form at Epsom. I think it was last week.
And I'll say, I think it looked very good.
Got on top close home, so it's improving. It's a decent Hannon horse, so you'll always have them in tip-top shape to go into the board meeting as well. Tom Marquand on board, and I think that was a decent prep run. And again, at 6.5 to 1, decent price,
Okay then, Sean, you've gone for one maybe slightly off the radar a little bit?
Agriterra, 7 to 1. One race so far this season, on the all-weather.
It was Kempton, wasn't
it was at Kempton, but I thought it was very convincing in a field that actually, I think it had, Preening, was that in there? And the Ryan Moore Rorder.
The favourite for this race.
Yeah, and it didn't blow them away. But I thought it was convincing enough to think that...
To give you something to latch onto, sort of thing,
If that race can be... If you can transform that onto turf, I think it'd be very difficult to beat. Watching it back, he seemed to get out the space he needed to and put the race to bed enough for me to think, can do it on turf.
Yeah.
The ones behind, obviously, Preening and Rorder, will probably be those to watch, if I'm honest. I think... that more was expected of them in that race, I believe. It was a bit of an upset in some respects, but you've seen too many of them.
Ananirum was back in 10th in that race, but again, that's all weather.
Do you see what I mean? So there's been too many upsets for me to think it's just just upsets. That these things, maybe certain horses are going to get found out, and I do believe, I think Agriterra form translate to turf. I think it'll be a nice Ascot winner for Ed Walker.
Fair enough. Okay. All right, well, let's move on to the guys then, what they've got to give us. As I say, we did say, some horses may change. They're listed, obviously, loads of races still at the moment. They're still a bit early, but anyway, so in this race, assuming obviously I Can Fly is in this, or goes as it stands. Jamie's gone for I Can Fly at 6 to 1. Run well for half the season, sort of thing. Been in his tracker for a while. Just sort of turning the corner a little bit. Ran well at Curragh, second behind another one in the race. So again, like what we're saying about, there's quite a few in it that are all been in and around each other for a little while. And just hoping she can sort of turn the form table.
And
basically.
it's O'Brien, so it's he shows up, doesn't he? So.
O'Brien, and always another one of O'Brien's battalion always does well, doesn't he? So. Whether he's got 1 or 10 in the race.
He'll stack the deck.
But at the end of the day, if you can, you would, wouldn't you? If you've got the luxury of and the privilege of having that many horses, then you've got to run.
Do it.
Absolutely. Mark has gone for Rorder or Radar, however you pronounce it. Obviously, currently the favourite. Mark's main reasons for thinking is push Larty go all the way in.
I knew he was going to say that.
In the York, he fancies him basically.
Like you say, I can understand why. I mean, Larty Dar is another one that just seems different class, doesn't it? Really. So anything that can kind of push that and get close, take Latido out the race, then you have to think it stands a massive chance of anything it runs in.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
yeah, fair play.
I get that.
Yeah, and then Jacob. So again, looking at that sort of value for money, you know, trying to find a bigger winner, which he does well enough. So fair play to him for that. He's gone for one that you just mentioned a minute ago, Sean. Who was second to your choice, Preening at 20 to 1, as it stands at the moment. Yeah, just thinks he's got a good choice. From that race, as you were saying, 3rd, 4th, and 8th have all gone on, and either won or placed. Felt he was held up a little bit that day.
He got boxed in.
May not have had the best run. Each way, worth it at 20 to 1. Got to be in with some sort of share.
Yeah, 100%. That's those sort of odds you're looking at. You know.
Yeah.
Lovely
you
sort of money
do get
back,
upsets. You
do
get
absolutely,
upsets. You'll find a lot of people, like I say, will be betting based on who the trainer is rather than the ability of the actual horse. Don't get sucked in. As I say, if you fancy a horse at 20s, 25s, they do come good at these big meetings, so don't be fooled.
Yeah, so sometimes, like you say, you just got to stick with your gut and
always,
and go with what you believe in it. You know,
always.
Never change your mind. I've found that out to my own.
Do it too often.
Yeah, so they're saying we won't be the first people, we'll never be the last. I'm sure. So basically, that's our first part of our 2019 Ascot preview. As always, comment below, get involved, let us know, tell us if you think we're wrong.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, we're grown men, we can handle it.
Yeah, I can't.
But okay, some of us can. But yeah, get involved and like I say, comment below, let us know. And then obviously, just keep abreast of Twitter and stuff like that. We'll have any bits and bobs that we think's worth tweeting up there. And we'll see you again for part 2.
Lovely.